Hey, so in this video I show you how to make an apple and onion liverwurst. First of all, of course, we need some apple and onion. And then on the meat side, we have some pork belly. The important part here is that it's roughly 50% fat, can also be a bit more. Liverwurst is pretty fat anyway, so we needed to have this smearable consistency. And then some pork liver. And for the spices, I have some nutmeg, ginger and cardamom, salt and cure, and black pepper. And that's it for now. I would say let's start with the process. First of all, you cut the pork belly into cubes or strips. Just make sure they fit your meat grinder later on. And then you put it into a vacuum bag or a Ziploc bag because we will cook it via sous vide at 78 degrees Celsius or 172 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 60 minutes. If you don't want to use sous vide or you don't have one, you can also poach it or cook it at the same temperature in water. However, then you need to weigh the meat before and after you cooked it because it will lose some fat in water and you will need to add it later to the liverwurst again. Then you can cut the liver, the onions, and then for me personally, you could also skip this step. However, I find it gives a bit more delicate flavor if you simmer it at a very low heat in some oil, butter, or even pork fat. You don't want to get it too crisp. Just look at this color. This is how it should look like. After the meat is cooked, you can separate the juices from the meat. As you can see here, that's what I meant. If you don't cook it with sous vide, this is the mixture you need to re-add. The good thing here is that the flavor is not diluted. If you cook it directly in water and you have small batches, the flavor will not be as good as with this method. Next, we need to put the apple through the grinder and then also the liver and the onions. And then also the meat. You should use the finest die. We will put it in the blender later anyway, however it is easier if you use the finest perforated disc. Add the spices and mix everything together. And this would be ready for now if you want a coarser liverwurst. However, if you want to make a fine liverwurst, then as I said before, you get a food processor, put in the mixture and then mix it very well until everything is smooth. So next you can either preserve the liverwurst in glasses and cook it, or we can fill it into casings and you could use natural casings or artificial casings. That's completely up to you. Get it in there, tie it together, and then it's ready to be poached at 80 degrees Celsius, which is 176 degrees Fahrenheit, for roughly 40 minutes. The duration depends on how thick your casings are. So for me, I have casings that are around 40 millimeters, therefore 40 minutes. If you have smaller casings, then you can poach it shorter. If you have thicker casings, then poach it longer. Then it's time to let them cool down, and then you can put them on a nice piece of bread. As you can see here, super delicate, really nice texture. And taste-wise, you have the sweet notes from the onion and then also the tart notes from the apple. They really work well together, and yeah, can totally recommend this recipe. As always, if you want the recipe, it is below. If you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.